Hello and a big welcome back to the Wheel Order channel. Today we're making two delicious baked oat recipes for breakfast. These are both really easy to make and they are delicious in the colder mornings. We've been getting some colder mornings recently and it's been getting a bit cooler at night as well, with September just around the corner. So we've been trying to include more warm breakfasts. So this is a really nice, both of these recipes are really nice to make ahead of time. I actually made both of them and they lasted us pretty much all of the week. So that was feeding like 3 or 4 kids at a time, including the toddler. She doesn't eat much, but so I would say 3 kids and 2 adults every morning. All you need is a little square out of the dish topped with some fruit, yogurt, cream or honey on top. It's such a quick breakfast and you just have to warm it up in the oven for a few minutes as well. So perfect make ahead breakfast ideas. The first one I'm going to be making is the toffee apple and walnut baked oats recipe. It's super delicious, has all the warming spices of autumn in it. Smells amazing when it's cooking as well. So we've got cinnamon and mixed spice. I did top it off with some dried apple, but you could top it off with some fresh. So don't worry if you don't have dried apple for the top of the recipe. And it also has grated apples in it as well. So now that we are entering the season of using apples with like everything, it's a great recipe to use up some of the apples from your garden or from your local sources if you don't have in your garden. The next recipe I'm going to be making is a blackberry and white chocolate baked oats. It is so easy to make, perfect to make ahead of time. I must admit, in this video I actually used blueberries. I almost forgot to put them into the recipe as well because I was using the blackberries for another recipe and I had finished them, so I'd run out of blackberries. But it's a perfect recipe to make in September, October, November, when there are blackberries available for foraging, especially around about here. There are blackberries in the forests and stuff, so I love to go blackberry picking. One of my favorite recipes for blackberries is I usually make like a blackberry oxymel, I think it's called, where you store the blackberries in apple cider vinegar and make a nutritious warming drink for the winter months, but that's for another video or for a chat on Instagram. Anyway, let's get started on our 2 delicious baked oatmeal recipes. We've got our toffee apple and walnut and our blackberry and white chocolate. So to get started on our toffee apple baked oats, we're going to need these ingredients here. Both these recipes are really easy, and we're going to preheat our oven to 160, that's a fan oven, and we're going to add our oats and our salt into our mixing bowl. We're then going to add in our baking powder, and our spices. You can add in more or less spice depending on what you like flavour wise. And we're going to add in our brown sugar as well. So we're just going to give that a really good mix through, just breaking up any lumps and just making sure that it's well combined. I must apologise, I've lost my voice a little bit as well. So we're going to add our eggs and our milk into our glass bowl there. Now I'm also adding a little bit of vanilla, you don't have to. I didn't put it down in the ingredients because it works well without it, but you can add it in if you want to for some extra flavour. So I'm just giving it a good stir through and we're going to pour that mixture into the oats. So we're just going to give that a good mix through until it is well combined. And we're then going to grate in our apples. So just mix those through and we're going to add in our chopped walnuts as well. We're then going to pour it into a greased, like a pie dish or something, or like a tart dish, whatever you have available. Even just a glass oven tray will be fine, and we're going to spread that out. We're then going to bake that in the oven for 40 minutes and it should look something like this when it is ready. So it should be nice and golden brown on the top and firm to touch as well. So I'm just drizzling over a little bit of honey. You could put some maple syrup on. You don't have to add this on, it's just completely optional. And I'm also sprinkling over some dried apple as well.
So these are just some apple slices that I have dried myself from my own apples, but you could use some fresh apple if you don't have. And we're just going to cut out a slice. So both of these dishes keep really well if you just cover them and pop them in the fridge, and you can reheat in the oven or the microwave the next day. And we're just adding on a drizzle of cream, but you could serve it with yogurt or fresh fruit, honey, maple syrup, whatever is your favorite to have with like porridge or something. So to make our blackberry and white chocolate baked oats, we're going to need these ingredients. Our oven is set to the same temperature again, 160, and we're going to add our oats into our mixing bowl. We're then going to add our salt and our baking powder. And we're going to add in our brown sugar and our almonds. So it's actually flaked almonds that I have used, and we're going to add our milk and our eggs into our glass jug, and we're not going to make a mess like I have here. And we're then going to add in our almond extract. If you don't have almond extract, don't worry, you could use a little bit of vanilla instead, or just leave it out completely. We're then going to add our milk and egg mixture into our mixing bowl, and we're going to give that a good stir through. We're then going to pour it into our dish. Now, I actually almost forgot to add in my blueberries. This recipe is best with blackberries, but if you can't get blackberries, blueberries are fine. So I added the blueberries in here, but you can add the blueberries in your bowl before you add it into your dish if you want to. So I've just added them in, and we're just going to give those a good stir through. I'm not actually adding the white chocolate until afterwards. So after we've baked it for 40 minutes, it should be nice and golden brown like this. And we're going to quickly add our white chocolate on as soon as it comes out of the oven. And we're just going to leave that to melt down. So it should look something like this when it is finished. Both of these recipes keep really well if you just leave them to cool, cover them, pop them in the fridge, and you can cut out a small piece each day. You really don't need much to fill you up. They are very filling, and they're really nice served with cream, yogurt, fresh fruit, honey, or even maple syrup. So use your microwave or oven to reheat them, and enjoy.
So I hope you enjoyed making these two lovely baked oatmeal recipes, or if you just chose to make one, I hope you enjoyed making that. If you're just making for like two of you or even for yourself, you could cut it up, and once it's cooled down, and freeze some in the freezer. That would be a really good way to make things ahead of time and prepare for future breakfast for yourself, or if you're making for a bigger family, it's perfect to keep on the counter and just carve into every day, pop in the oven for 5 minutes to warm up. And it is just super delicious. We served it with fruit, yogurt, honey, a little bit of cream, just all sorts of things. It's a really nice, quick breakfast, and having a very busy life and a big family, I love to have a quick, easy breakfast on the table in the morning. And it's a really good feeling knowing that everyone is filled up with something nutritious as well. So these recipes do contain quite a bit of sugar. They are a bit sweet. If you want to reduce the sugar content, you could try using coconut sugar, or you could halve the sugar quantity in these recipes as well. So let me know how you get on. If you did make them and you did take a picture, please feel free to tag me on Instagram. I love to see your creations, and I'll share over on my stories as well. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to give it a big thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, if you click the subscribe button and the little bell next to it, I will see you guys again soon. I have loads of delicious recipes coming out in the autumn months, and I also have a new cookbook on its way as well. So super exciting. Can't wait to share those things with you guys, and I hope to see you all again soon. Lots of love. Bye bye.